In FlexSim, separators are 3D objects that are fixed resources. They can either unpack flow items from a container or split a single flow item into multiple items. You can customize the settings of separators in your model to ensure that items are correctly routed and managed. You can add a separator in one of two ways. In the library, under Fixed Resources, select Separator, and then place it in the model. Or double-click in your model, and then select Separator in the Quick Library. In the model, select the separator to view its properties. A separator acts much like a processor, in that it has a setup and process time. But it can also unpack flow items from a container, or split flow items based on the selected separator mode. First, review how separators unpack items. In this example, a model is already set up with a combiner, which will pack boxes onto a pallet, and a separator to unpack the boxes. As the simulation is run, you can see that the combiner packs 4 boxes onto the pallet. With the simulation stopped, select the separator to view its properties, where the separator mode is set to unpack, and the quantity is set to entire contents. Now, run the simulation, and you can see that all 4 boxes are unpacked from the pallet, and then the pallet and boxes flow to different ports. Stop the simulation. Select the separator again, and change the quantity to another value, such as 2. Now when the simulation is run, the separator unpacks 2 boxes, while 2 remain on the pallet. In the separator properties, another option to note under Output is Send to Port, which determines the ports the contents and containers are sent to. Here it is set to default separator option, but you can click Edit to view or change these ports. In this case, the unpacked contents will be sent to port 2, while the containers, along with any remaining contents, will be sent to port 1. Separators can also split items. In this example, a model is already created with a separator set to split. Use the quantity column to control the number of units the separator will split your item into. You can use an integer, or you can set the quantity to by expression, as in this example. This allows you to use a label to determine how many units the item splits into. Select the source to see that in Properties, it is already set up with an onCreation trigger that will apply a label and a color. Click Edit to view the trigger settings. In this case, the label, SplitNum, is set to a uniform distribution between 2 and 5. When an item reaches the separator, it will split the item into the number specified by the label. Reset, run, and then pause the simulation before items reach the separator, so that you can view the SplitNum labels. In this case, the green item is set to split into 2, the blue item into 3, and the orange item into 5. Before proceeding with the simulation, select the separator. Then click Edit, next to by expression. Here, enter item.splitNum to identify the label that should be used for the by expression quantity. When the simulation is started again and then slowed down a little, you can see that each item splits into the corresponding number, based on its label. Now you can use a separator in your model to unpack or split items, allowing you to ensure that items are correctly routed and handled.